Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm Betsy McDaniel in for Robin Zimmerman today. We are, of course, at the beautiful Pat Conroy Literary Center. And joining me first today are our very good friends, Roy Austin and Lauren Winkel. And they are, of course, with Libraries for Kids International, which does such amazing work in getting books to kids in Africa. Thank you guys for being here. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while because you're mostly with Robin, so I'm delighted to see you both again. Laura, we're going to start with you, I think, today and talking a little bit about what it really looks like on the ground, trying to get these books to these kids with, it's books without barriers, but there's really some barriers you have to get through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. First, I want to start with Wanjiku Francis. She goes by Ciku, and she is our Kenyan coordinator. She handles the logistics. The moment that the container hits the port to our warehouse, she handles all the sorting, stamping, all of the packaging to figure out what reading level, what grades, what schools, in what sub-counties and counties are going, where, and she will box them up and get them ready to go. And I think that's just the very start of her journey. She sent us a report this morning of, she started a project from 4th of July to just about last week. And she set out September 8th to finish that project of books because we have a container that's supposed to be arriving today in Kenya. Okay. And we have one being inspected, ready to go. And so that's exciting for us too, but she needs to get books out of the warehouse so we can get more in.
To get more in, sure.
And so I had to take notes because as I'm reading her report, she set out September 8th with one truck and she was going all the way through the Chaubi Desert up in the Ethiopian border. And so there's one main road through the desert, and it was probably the first 320 miles that she didn't really see much of anything but one village.
Wow.
So when you're out in the middle of nowhere with books and you're talking about gas, you're talking about she said it was the roughest terrain she's ever encountered since she's been working with us. And that I read one of her sentences and she said they lost a steel bonnet on the front of the truck. And I was like, what is that? I had to Google it. It's a car hood.
Right.
And I was like, I've never heard that. I've actually never heard that terminology. They lost a car hood.
The front of the car is just falling off.
Yes. Okay. So they had that hurdle as they're carrying the books to the North Horse side of Kenya before they even get to that area. At one point, it took them 5 hours to drive 56 miles.
Oh my
because
goodness.
It was so rough. They thought that they weren't going to make it with the truck. And so she was telling us how there's no civilization for maybe 75 to 120 miles. And then when you come across a village, it's just mud huts and there's no resources for them.
Right.
And she sent us a couple pictures. And she is at the gas station next to the truck. And
is
she
gas station kind of a euphemism? I mean, is it?
Oh, it's just a dirt lot. There's nothing there except an actual gas can. Yeah. No, not even a pump. No just a can.
Yeah. Got it.
With a hand crank pump with a tube that goes into the truck. So she's sending us this picture, and the gentleman that she was working with speaks tribal language. So they're doing hand gestures, trying to communicate as to what they need. And he helps her fill the tank with gas, and he's cranking, and she's, pumping her own gas. She goes, we never seen a gas pump like that. And she goes, neither have I.
She sounds pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Well, I mean, the guy not only didn't speak English, he didn't speak Swahili either, which is the national language. Yeah. He only spoke his tribal language.
Okay, wow.
Because there's 44 different ethnic tribes in Kenya.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And so they deliver the books on the way out. 1 mile in, they get a flat tire. So they're in the middle of nowhere, have to get that fixed before they continue to the very last part of their trip, which is awesome. I had to write down some statistics, and I just want to read you a quote from her, it almost made me tear up. But 553 schools in the last 2 months. She went to 9 sub-counties, and all of those sub-counties are like this. And it took her about 2 months to create those libraries with, our World Book Day funds from 2024 that we've been working with to get books in the school. Yeah. But she says, I quote, "Those 6 hours to the first village felt like I was no longer in Kenya, but an alien in a strange land on a never-ending rough road, the roughest I've ever experienced. But it was refreshing. It felt good to witness what other people are going through. appreciate the challenges they face, and feel motivated to keep going so that we can reach children at the end of these tough terrains, those children that need us and our services.
Well,
Wow.
I think that's a great place to leave it, because how inspiring is that, and what a wonderful person she is that you found. And thank you again, as I say every time, for everything that you're doing, because you are changing lives.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Betsy.
Yeah. And we'll be back with more on North of the Broad, so don't go away.